What's good, people? Whether it's an earbud at work, in between class, while you're working out, or sitting on your ass, I want to welcome you to the CharlieGtv Podcast. And we have a lot lined up for you to hear today, all right? We're talking about growing up here in Detroit, you know what I mean? We're going to talk a little about the Warren Police, you know what I'm saying? We're going to talk a couple political questions here and there. It is almost 20 days to the election, you know what I mean? And a whole bunch of other things we got to talk about, this modern dating world, which is really just full of crap, you know what I'm saying? And many other things. But before I get into all of that, I have to introduce the lovely guest that we have on here today. Now, today we have the pleasure of welcoming a dynamic Detroit native who's making waves as a devoted mother, inspiring actress, and model. Her journey is a testament to resilience and ambition, all while raising a talented daughter with dreams of her own. Please join me in welcoming the beautiful Pavielle. Welcome. Thank you for coming on the show.
Wow, Charlie G, that was an awesome introduction. Thank you.
Good, no problem. My pleasure.
What up, though, Detroit?
Absolutely. You know what I mean? Hey, I forgot to say it's October 14th. Welcome maybe on YouTube. Maybe like and subscribe. You know what I mean? You know I'm dropping pods like every day, every chance I get. You know what I mean? But before we get into all of that, what we start with the watch this week. You know what I mean? Where it could be a TV show, I don't know, an anime, a movie. It could be a funny guy on Instagram. You know what I mean? Just what did you watch this week that you want to recommend or relate to the people? Give me story time if something crazy happened.
Let me think for a moment, because I don't really watch TV for real.
I respect that, because I honestly don't really watch a lot of TV at all, really, especially the last few days. You know what I mean? But yeah, maybe it was someone on Instagram, although you don't be on there a lot either. You know what I mean? What have you been watching, huh?
That's what I'm trying to think, because I'm like, what have I been watching for real? No, trauma do something to the memory. You can't remember.
She can't remember nothing. She said she traumatized. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know what I mean? But nah, yeah, it could always be story time if something crazy happened this week. You know what I'm saying? Mine's might be story time. I don't know if I feel like sharing the crazy thing that happened this week. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. We want to hear.
You know what I mean? What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so last week I got into a car crash, you know what I mean? And
my God,
I fucked up my transmission, which has been repaired, but now I got to pay mad bread to get the bum ass car out. You know what I mean? And I also had chest pains for a couple of days, but that was just the seatbelt stopping me from flying through the windshield. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that seatbelt.
Praise
you know what
God.
I mean? And I got to see my car. It has a little bit of damage in the front, but shout out to driving an SUV, dog. It's not that bad. It's not that compared to how hard I hit the other and how. Shout out to Jeeps. I gotta say, I think I'll probably be driving an SUV for the rest of my life. It probably won't be definitely won't be a Jeep continuing. You know what I mean? But because Jeeps, yeah, I'm not gonna talk about the reliability of Jeeps, but yeah,
I'm grateful.
I'm glad I'm here.
Grateful for your life today.
I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm
Absolutely.
still got my health. You know what I mean? None of my pod equipment was hurt. You know what I mean? So I got on my pod equipment. Yeah, and yeah, everything kind of messed up, but it resulted in good things. I'm gonna save it for the brand building segment, because I'm gonna talk about what this car accident pushing my back to the wall financially, what it creates. Because they say necessity is the mother of invention. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things I did to grow my brand over the past week that I can't say I would have done this fast if I didn't just crash my car. You know what I mean? So it forces you to level up and take steps forward. You know what I mean? With a greater sense of urgency. You know what I mean? So maybe in the end, when it's all said and done a year from now, hopefully I'll be like, yeah, that was a blessing. You know what I mean? That's how, because when I first broke my neck, I was mad about it. I was feeling some type of way. You know what I mean? But then a year later, I was like, bro, that had to happen, and that was the best thing that ever happened to me. You know what I mean? So,
well, driving in a vehicle is the most dangerous thing that we all do on a day-to-day. It's also the most skillful position and thing that we're doing on a day-to-day.
Yeah.
I lost my late husband to a car accident.
Damn.
September 30th of 2012.
Damn.
He got killed in a car accident. I was 6 months pregnant.
Gosh, that fucking sucks.
Devastating.
Yeah. Yeah, car accidents are crazy. And they are a bit traumatizing.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because I remember when I flipped my car and I broke my neck. And the thing when you flip your car, like so much glass shatters because the windshield shatters, the back windshield shatters, because you're smashing it and you're flipping it, whatever, right? For like weeks after that, I could like still like almost hear the sound of all that glass crack. Because car crashes are so loud. Mm-hmm. You think you're loud when you hear it and you a block away. Imagine being in the car. It's so loud. It's like the loudest thing you've ever heard in your life, dog. Mm-hmm. And it just like imprints you with its sound for a long time. You just hear the crashing of it. You know what I mean? So car crashes suck for everyone involved. The people, everyone involved. You know what I mean?
And everybody put on your seatbelts.
That's what saved me.
Absolutely.
That's what saved me. See, breaking my neck taught me to keep my seatbelt on. Because even the doctor said, and even I know it's true. If I would have had my seatbelt on when my car flipped, I wouldn't have got a broken neck. I'd have been fine. But because I didn't have my seatbelt on, and when you flip it, my head hit the other, because you flip it, you know what I mean? So my head hit the ground so hard, it caused a compound fracture in my neck. That's how I ended up breaking my neck. You know what I mean? So
just last week?
No.
This was another accident.
It's 2020. Yeah, but that accident had to happen, like I said, because before that accident, I didn't have a business, I didn't have a brand, I didn't have a vision for my future. You know what I mean? I was just going through the motions of life. I wasn't taking life seriously to a degree. Like I wasn't invested that much. I wasn't suicidal, but I wasn't like, oh, I love my life, got to keep doing this. Like I was just like, whatever. You know what I mean? And sometimes you could feel that way until your life is like almost taken from you, and your health is in jeopardy. Now you in a neck brace, and now everything you took for granted. You know what I mean? Now you're just wishing to get it back. You know what I mean? So. Sometimes an accident could really put life into perspective of what really, really matters. You know what I mean? So,
shout out to Gino. Rest in peace.
Yeah, man.
Sophia and I, we miss you every day. Car accidents are spiritual. And I just want to say this, that everyone has to slow down and pay attention. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. Don't be doing any other activity. You have to focus because you're not driving just for yourself. You're driving for others.
Yeah. That's the truth. I'm just grateful no one was hurt in the accident. So,
amen.
But yeah, that little stories I watched this week because that's what I watched. I watched my life crash and fall apart and have to rebuild it. That's what I watched. That's what I'm still watching. You know what I mean? But yeah, another story here. The first one we have up here is news from Detroit. You know what I mean? And the first topic for news for Detroit is the housing crisis. I believe I wanted to speak on this. How you feel the housing crisis is affecting people in your social network or things that you hear about it?
First, I would like to say that I am a born and raised native of the city of Detroit. And we should not be having a housing crisis. It's absolutely ridiculous, to say the least. I think Trump just made a statement, and I'm not sure verbatimly what he stated.
Talked a little shit about Detroit.
He did, but he stated something like, if he didn't get in the seat this next election, that the rest of the country was going to be like Detroit. And I think a lot of people were like in arms.
Yeah,
like,
feel some type of way. Yeah,
about that. But there's truth to the statement due to simple facts such as Detroit. And there's a term going around now like Black Detroit. Well, Detroit is synonymous with the word black because it has been predominantly black for generations. Yeah. The fact that you have Detroit natives that are displaced, can't find housing, decent housing, or the rents are astronomically through the roof.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous, all because white people are moving in. I mean, I believe that Detroit natives need to wake up and realize what's happening in our cities. Mm-hmm. In our city, we are the blackest city in America still. Yeah. And culture is undeniable.
It is.
The people are great. We have so much rich historic history here. Yeah. From all facets and nationalities and ways of life.
Yeah. This very building that we're in was originally a police station, one of the first police stations in Detroit. This building right here. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So there's tons of
Detroit has a lot of firsts.
Yeah.
You know, the first freeway, the first car ever driven on a road.
The first paved road was in Detroit.
Detroit used to be coined the Paris of the Midwest back in like the 50s and the 60s.
Detroit was America's first great city. As a person born and raised in New York, before New York was popping, Detroit was popping. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Before New York gave birth to hip hop, it was jazz and Motown in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So Detroit was the first leader in culture and the first, like, America's richest city because of the big three, the invention of the car. No one was making money. There was the richest city in America was Detroit.
Detroit coined the middle class that we say is because niggas was getting money.
Yeah, for real.
That's what the middle class synonymously means.
Yeah.
Because black folks was getting money like never before. Mm-hmm. And he would have been my great-great-grandfather, built a legacy from working at Ford's plant.
Yeah.
With Mr. Ford. And we have so much rich history. But what's happening is they're stealing our property. They're stealing our land by way of taxes and all of these other different terms and colloquialisms that are just farces. They're not real anyways. I'm just tired of the invisible walls and all of the strongholds that we still in 2024 as a people are having to get over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We've already overcome this. So why are we now having to redo what has already been done?
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. It's absolutely ridiculous.
And that tax thing is really true because they do come for the property taxes here in Detroit. And they'll take your house. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy because I really wish they had that same amount of integrity. Or you care about where the tax money goes, huh? Or you care. All right. So when the Pentagon literally said to the U.S. government when it was getting audited, I think it was like literally $1 trillion or $2 trillion, and the Pentagon just said, "We don't know where it went. You don't know." So y'all gonna kick this lady out of her house for like $10,000, $15,000 in taxes, back taxes. Y'all gonna kick her out of a house she's been in for 20, 30 years. But the Pentagon could go, meh.
But I'm saying America is $1 trillion in debt to China and whoever the hell else. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you just write it off to Ukraine but then months after when there's a hurricane and your own people may need money in Florida.
Right.
Oh, FEMA ran out of money. Oh. Yeah, you had comedians saying that Florida should rename themselves Ukraine and maybe they could get some money, like on the real, because I seem to have no expense spared for them. When it's us going through a hurricane, we ran out. Oh, look how that works.
That's that's a great point you brought up because the resources and money the government, they would not give us money, loans for decades. So what happened was when they publicly lynched Kwame Kilpatrick like they did, that was the PSA to the whole world. Like, hey, we got them. We about to take over the city again. And Detroit is the heart of America. So that's what Trump was saying when that's what he was referring to. Like, if they do this to Detroit, the rest of the country it's all you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because Detroit, honestly, when it comes to manufacturing, Detroit is kind of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Detroit manufactures so much. It might be some factories in Kentucky and some other places, you know what I'm saying? But Detroit was known for manufacturing and still is, you know what I'm saying? And I'm very grateful because I always tell my brother, I'm like, I'm from New York and all of that. That's cool, but I got no college degree. I got some skills, but nothing that's like on a college degree. I only went for like a year and a half. Like, if I was in New York with no college degree, trying to get a job that could pay for me to live in New York, I'd be struggling. Because everyone I know in New York that don't got no college degree is struggling. There is no big three in New York for you to go get a job at with no college degree. There is no Amazon factories like that in New York for you to go get jobs at like there is out here. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if you were a young person with no college degree and you trying to, like, make a decent wage, Detroit is not the worst place to goddamn be, because there's lots of those manufacturing jobs that offer overtime, have pay raises in certain ways. You can make a certain, but the money you can make from those jobs versus the cost of living, you know, if you discipline enough, you can make something happen out here in Detroit for real.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You got work ethic. You don't get fired. You know what I mean?
And then once upon a time, we had, you know, decent rent, affordable rent.
I'm telling you.
But so you could really get your money and then, you know what I'm saying, stack and still be playing for real.
I'm so mad at my mindset. When I first moved here, it was in 2014. Well, really 2016. My mother bought the house in 2014, but we moved back and forth for a little while. Went back to New York, whatever. I was like 23 when I really started trying to get a job out here and trying to maneuver out here, and I was still mad about not being in New York, to be honest. And I wasn't really opening my mind and my vision to the opportunities here in Detroit. You know what I mean? If I had the mindset I have now towards Detroit versus then, you know what I mean? Like, I would be so much further ahead. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't a businessman when I first moved to Detroit. I wasn't thinking business. I wasn't thinking, you know, needs that need to be met and service and things. I wasn't thinking like that. I was just like, I don't know, missing my city, the culture, the food. I miss my city a lot. But at the end of the day, when I really look at it, I feel like unless you're maybe in the entertainment industry, and even then, like, really, honestly, I feel like Detroit has more opportunity than New York. You know what I'm saying? Because you could say that there's big modeling agencies in New York and California and all of that, but there's also big competition. You know, what I always tell people out in Detroit is that y'all don't understand the level of competition that is in New York in every field you're trying to get in. You think if you ever feel that way on, oh, there's 1,000 photographers. No. You go in New York, bro. My idea of a production company, I don't know if I'll be doing that in New York for real. You know how many people is filming and taking cameras and doing that in New York, you know what I mean? Or how much regulation they have on that. Like,
where Brooklyn at?
For real, you know what I'm saying? Like I would not, like, there's dudes out here that just get a pickup truck, get a lawnmower, you know what I'm saying? Like, build up their customer base.
Nobody hustles harder than Detroit. Detroit hustles harder.
New York don't got New York don't got no real lawns to mow. A lawn is this big. You ain't starting no lawnmower business in New York. That is just not happening. Or you trying to do car detailing? You know how many cars is in New York? You know how many people do? You ain't about to get that business for real. I mean, it's just so much harder. The competition is way higher.
And so, I mean, people are stacked on top
of each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I always tell people the average food. Like, I feel like the average weed out here is better than the average. Like, I feel like the peak of New York weed is higher than the peak of Detroit weed, but the average of the quality of weed is better here than New York. You know what I mean? Like, the weed that the average nigga in Detroit is smoking versus the average nigga in New York, the average nigga in Detroit is smoking high quality weed. Now, if you was a rich nigga, like money, no expenses, and you tried to get the best weed you could get in Detroit, it's not fucking with the best weed you could get in New York. You know what I'm saying? But on average, because so much growth is happening, like literally growing the weed out here, almost no weed you smoke in New York is grown in New York. Almost no weed. It's too much square. Everyone's living everywhere. You know what I mean? So there's no square footage to just have a whole house for growing weed. That's crazy. New York, that's crazy. You can have a house growing weed so for months, so you can make what 10 G's off that weed, 20 G's off that weed for how many months? 3-6 months? If you rented out that same space to anybody, you'd be getting way more than that in rent. You know what I mean? So growing weed in New York is like not even worth it. They'll grow it in like New Jersey or grow it upstate or but in New York City, they're not getting grown. No, weed is getting grown in Detroit. Weed is getting grown in Detroit and sold in Detroit. Because even though that's why I don't understand. Like the housing crisis, I don't know. I know it's a thing because
absolutely, it's so many natives, it's so many people that are born and raised from Detroit, that are displaced right now is absolutely absurd, and no one's talking about it. They have, speaking about the Caucasian, the European, Esau,
really the Mexicans is what I heard, but yeah.
Well, they want to say the Mexicans or the illegals. I'm not gonna get on them. The Mexicans done been in Mexican town. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but that is a factor.
They're saying that they're branching out of there though.
As it relates to the illegals that's coming over, it's about to be like cowboys and Indians with property.
Yeah, for real.
Because they about to just come in. It's, you know how much vacant property and stuff is around here?
Yeah, I know, because I heard two people arguing one time over a house they was squatting in. Like, it's like she got the house first. It was squatting in it first, and like made it like livable. Mm-hmm. And then she let her friend
eminent domain. That's one of the terms. Let
her friend live in there with her. You know what I mean? And then the original person got a real house that they actually saved up and bought. You know what I mean? And I guess she was like trying to almost charge the other one rent a little bit. She was like, "This ain't really your house. What type of bullshit is this?"
Wait,
like,
so you saying she was already squatting?
Yeah.
And then she moved?
She was living there for a little while, and then let her friend move in with her. You know what I mean? And then after they was living together for a little while, she found a real house and bought a real house. You know what I'm saying? But
okay.
She felt like the house was hers though, and she wanted to like rent it out or like do something with it. You know what I'm saying? And then
her
friend was still trying to stay in the house, like, you know, all Gucci. You know what I'm saying? And then like was like sneaking behind her to go to the house. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
And she was like seeing footprints in the snow up to the house. She was like, "What's going on here?" You know what I mean? Like, it was just a funny situation. Like, I was like, only in Detroit, y'all be arguing over like a house y'all that's not even like nobody's house for real. Like, come on.
I mean, obviously, like, you know, first in line is the first in time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
like,
saying?
I got here first,
so she got it right, and that's how it would go down. You know in the court of law.
I'm just saying but here in Detroit, that's like when I first got out here, and I heard that there was, I still say pawn and park parts, like taking the slide out the parking, out the playground, and selling it for scrap metal. You know what I mean? I was like, that's crazy. Y'all dismantling. Y'all taking the basketball rim? Y'all taking, like, that's the most fuck society.
Niggas gotta eat. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, that's the most fun. Like, why don't you just unscrew the traffic light in intersections and just go? I was like, just fuck it.
You know what I'm saying?
I was like, yo, the crackheads and the hungry people in Detroit are some of the most skillful crackheads you ever going to see. How you going?
I don't even hustle harder than Detroit.
I'm telling you, I don't even know where a catalytic converter is, but the crackhead dude, and he trying to take it off your car. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dog, these guys know where the pipes is at. They know how to unscrew the slide at the park.
Skillful.
I thought that take a special. I thought that take a special wrench. You can't even just do that, and they getting it off.
That's it.
I guess before there was a crackhead that worked at a plant. They're like, no, I know how to do. That's what I mean. They be so like mechanical for no reason. The men in Detroit, I throw a rock and I can hit somebody. I know how to do their own brakes. Know how to change this and that.
Absolutely.
Like, there's so many guys that know how to work on cars out here. So mechanically inclined.
Everybody's a mechanic. No one know how to work on a car. All the women know how to do hair. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, dead ass though. Dead ass. I know
nails.
I know a couple niggas that's like, they used to have their dreads fresh. Like, every time I saw them, it looked like they just got a retwisted for no reason. And then they went weeks without their dreads done. I was like, you broke up with shorty? I was like,
the thing, now that we on dreads, because I mean, dreads is cool. I'm not a dreads girl. And see, I'm from Detroit, born and raised. I respect you for that,
because you know how many girls in Detroit love dreads?
Okay, I don't know why, because like I told you, I'm born and raised in Detroit. And when I was growing up, it was 360s and braids. Like, you was either clean cut with the 360s, you know what I'm saying? Your waves was banging, or you had the braids.
Yeah.
We didn't, down south is where they had the dreads. And then when social media came out at like 2000, I don't even know when I want to say 14, 15, I guess, when people started wearing dreads.
Yeah.
And now it seems like everybody is wearing dreads. That was not a thing in Detroit. Niggas need to get back to 360s and braids.
I'm telling you, dog. As a person with braids, I got a little bit of length. Like when it's out, like it's like oh much. The thing is, not getting braids. I mean, not getting like. I ain't gonna lie. I told the person that be doing my hair sometimes that I've never had even twists in my life. They be having twists. They not dreads, but aesthetically they kind of look like dreads. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm Jamaican, and the thing is, as a Jamaican, dreads is like a religious hairstyle for the Rastas. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I just treat dreads like they're just a hairstyle, then my Jamaicans will call me a black American instead of a Jamaican. Like, oh, so you just giving up you act like dreads don't mean shit, huh? You just going, because like if you Jamaican, even if you're not necessarily trying to be Rasta like that, but if you Jamaican and you got dreads on and people see you eating like bacon or pork or some type of shit, they're going to be like, what is you doing? What are they going to feel some type of way? You know what I mean?
Like, anytime I see somebody with dreads, I think that they conscious. Or like you say, Rasta, you know, something like that. And niggas walk around with dreads with no
sense.
Where your mind at?
My stepfather was talking about that because he's actually a Rastafarian with dreads. You know, he's Jamaican Rastafarian, and he talks about how he feels like American culture has ruined dreads as far as like its reputation. You know what I mean? Because now he doesn't even like calling them dreads; he likes calling them locks. Because you said dreads sound dreadful, and there's nothing dreadful about locks. You know what I'm saying? Calling them locks. He always gets them. They're locks, not dreads. I'm like, all right. But he's like, yeah, like how you feel about it, like dreads being associated with like some sort of spirituality. I mean that's what it's supposed to be, a higher level of like getting in touch with your nature. You know, it's supposed to be that. But now in America, it's turned it into Chief Keef, gangsters. You know what I mean? You see niggas with dreads, you be like. You honestly probably think he's at least on the up and up. You would think if you see a guy with tattoos and dreads, the dreads do not help him not look like a street nigga. I'll just be honest.
Because it used to be a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
That's what is missing.
Yeah. And now it's nothing about that. You know what I mean? But I was thinking about getting twists because I was always curious of how I would look with some twists. You know what I'm saying? So I was thinking about it. I might. But the braids is a hard holdout because we're not getting into the dating apps and whatever yet, but the amount of times I've seen in a girl's bio on a dating app, oh, I love dreads, I like dreadheads, I like dreads. If I had $1 for every time I've seen that, like dog, I've seen it so many times. I've never seen one time in a girl's bio her say she likes braids. Not
I love braids. That's what I love.
Time have I ever seen that.
I don't like dreads.
When I see another nigga with braids, I almost want to be like, hey, you held out too, because you could have got dreads. You could have got there, but you kept it braids. My God. You know what I mean? That's why I was going to try twists, you know what I'm saying? But then I was probably going to go back to braids because it's like, if I get twisted, I feel like I can still like, turn them back into braids, you know what I'm saying? But
and let me just say, you know what I'm saying? Because not everybody, I'm not a fan. But some people look good in it. And if you look good, you look good. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. I just want to say that.
She said a handsome nigga with dreads could still slide through. That's what she said.
I'm just saying.
She said if you look good, I ain't going to hold the dreads against you, but they ain't going to be a plus. But,
Yeah. I prefer the braid.
I heard that. That's funny. All right, so what you call it? The next story we wanted to talk about, he had two brothers that used to work with me in my plant, actually. You know what I'm saying? But they stopped working there a few months before it happened. One a little more recently, the other one a little while before. But long story short, the Warren police were speeding, and they were speeding past an intersection, and they crashed into a car with these two gentlemen, and it resulted in their deaths. You know what I mean? They're now being sued, you know what I mean, by the people's families. You know what I'm saying? And
they should be. It's about time.
The Warren police. Well, when I brought up that story to a few people and I talked to a few people, I learned that the Warren police do not have a good reputation in general.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
Not.
So, can you talk about how you feel about the Warren police?
I hate the Warren police. First of all, no,
waste no time.
I don't fucking fuck with Warren police. Warren is a sundown town. You know what a sundown town is? Warren is a sundown town.
Wow.
In 2024. Niggas is not safe in Warren.
Damn.
My cousin, shout out to my cousin. I don't even know if I should, you know what I'm saying, throw a name out. But Warren police got her on $1 million bond. Like she Frank Lucas or something.
Wow. $1 million bond?
Henry Marzette or something. That's crazy.
That's crazy. $1 million. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. They want her under the jail.
Under it.
That's crazy. That's just yeah. Yeah, the Warren police pulled me over for speeding.
Free Thais. Free Thais. That's her name.
Warren police pulled me over for speeding a few months ago. And, see, I've been pulled over a couple times for tickets, but it was always in Detroit, kind of. And what I was waiting on was like what Detroit does. You get pulled over, then you get that little card in the mail that got your court date on it. You got to show up on that court date or whatever. So I was waiting for the card with the court date. And apparently in Warren, you have to like call the people, like the police, the court, to set up that court date. And if you have 14 days to do that, and apparently if you don't call in Warren to set up a court date, then they automatically make a judgment and just
put a warrant out,
send you out the ticket or whatever the hell the thing. You know what I mean? But I'm like, I didn't know that. This is my first time getting pulled over in Warren, and now they just got this ticket on my ass, and I'm like, and then now to get the ticket off, I gotta go there, basically pay both tickets, and then schedule a court date and put the money in a bond or whatever, and then based on the judgment, I'll either get my money back, some of it, or I just paid both tickets. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, first of all, that's mad time, because going to court takes, like, to even the courthouse, it's gotta be cash. I gotta leave my phone. I can't take a bunch of shit into the courthouse. Like, I only been to a courthouse one time, really, to file like a lawsuit or something, and like, it's so annoying going to a fucking courthouse. I don't know why the fuck they make it so annoying. It's because they don't want you to do shit. They don't want you to fucking. I think they intentionally. It's so annoying going to a courthouse.
It's just stressful.
It's so annoying. All the rules, everything is so annoying. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it takes time. As a guy with 2 jobs and I got so much going on. Mm-hmm. When I seen those 2 tickets come, and one of them was for me not having insurance, just because for whatever reason when he pulled up my insurance, it didn't like pop up or whatever. But I told him I had insurance. You know what I'm saying? But it was like. And I know for sure I could get that ticket thrown out because I have insurance statements for that whole period of time. Like, I can prove to you I had insurance during that time. And then the thing, I guess it was in the morning to do that. He's like, I'm on the side of the road. I can't do it right now. But I could have pulled up my insurance card for you to see the date of the effective date and see that we are in between that. But I had insurance, dog. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's like, but he didn't want to even take the time, you know what I'm saying, to see that. He just want to write me a ticket for no insurance. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm looking at this ticket like, yo, I know I could get this one thrown out. But the time it would take me to go pay it, go set up a court date, go put it in a bond thing, then go show up on that court date.
I'm getting stressed out like, just hearing about it.
Exactly.
You know
I'd be like, nigga, just take the $260 or whatever. Take the one for whatever the fuck. Whatever the fuck. I'm just, because it's take me so much time to do all of that shit. So annoying.
It's crazy.
When you could have just sent me a court date. Bro, why y'all couldn't set up a court date? Why y'all pulling dudes over and can't set up a court date for their hearing? That's crazy. Warren police are lazy. That's just lazy.
They racist as fuck.
At least in Detroit, they set you up a court date automatically. You know what I mean? You get pulled over in Detroit, you get a ticket, you get a court date to dispute the ticket automatically. When I got pulled over in Detroit and I didn't have insurance. See, when he pulled me over and he said I didn't have insurance, I had insurance. I got pulled over in Detroit and I straight didn't have insurance. And he gave me what's called a fix-it ticket, where it's like, if you show up in court.
I'm glad we're talking about tickets now, because it just jogged my memory that I have one.
I had to jog her memory because she's like, fuck
I got I got not in Warren, Detroit, but I have to, you know what I'm saying, stand on business.
For real. I didn't have insurance when they pulled me over in Detroit, and he said it was a fixed ticket. So basically, what it said was, if I get insurance by the court date, they'll throw out the ticket. You know, if I can provide proof of insurance, which I did that, and I was Gucci. You know what I mean? But I'm like, see how Detroit did it? Detroit didn't just give me a judgment automatic. No, they gave me a chance to fix it, and they gave me a court date. I didn't even have insurance. Straight didn't. Warren pulls me over, and I have insurance, and they don't give me a court date, don't give me a chance to fix it or prove it. They just straight give me write the ticket for the money. Like, that's 2 completely different ways of handling the exact same problem. And what are you trying to do? Take me off the road or keep me on the road with insurance? Because at the end of the day, I'm on mound. You put me off on. I wouldn't even, like, bro. I heard one time in an article that they say, like, almost 200,000 people be on Mound every day commuting to because a lot of the plants, which is a lot of the tax base in Detroit and Michigan, is on Mound. There's so many plants on Mound. Chrysler's on Mound. So there's literally so many plants on Mound. So if I was running a city, and I know that the lifeblood of my city is the money coming from these manufacturers, and majority of a lot of the manufacturers on Mound, and I know they'd be clocking in all at 5, 6 a.m., and I pull a nigga over at 6 a.m. going to work on Mound, I would leave them alone. You know what I'm saying? You put me over while going to work at 6 a.m. You know I'm not bullshitting. I'm going to work. I got the highlighter thing on, and you know I'm going to work. So why is you acting like it's 1 a.m. on a Friday and I'm out here just doing fuck shit? You know what I'm saying?
Better to do.
Why is you bothering me on the way to work, dog? That's crazy. You know, and it's Mound. You know how many niggas? I was going 60 on Mound when he pulled me over, dog. 60. It's a 50 on Mound. Niggas be going 65, 70. It's Mound, dog.
Right.
Niggas be driving it. Come on. And it's commute time. To me, I would just never do that. I understand the city trying to make money and all of that, but not off the people that already make the city money with the taxes that they pay and everything. These are the main people supporting the fucking city. The people going on Mound to go to these manufacturers. It's just crazy to me that they would do that. So,
more police gets the donkey of the day or the other night, but they just
for real. To the Warren police, they on bullshit all the time. Straight bullshit. You know what I mean? But first question I have for you here. So, what was it like for you growing up? Was it a single parent household? Did grandma raise you? Did you have a lot of brothers and sisters? You know what I mean? What was it like growing up for Pavielle?
Oh my goodness. I had a beautiful childhood. I grew up on Roosevelt, right off of, the city, most people call it Number Streets. Okay. But it's basically Southwest, West Warren and West Grand Boulevard area.
Okay.
I grew up basically in a mansion or a castle. My great-grandfather bought a row house. So it was 3 homes connected together, all side by side, and the family lived in the house. Yeah. You know, it's still taking care of us to this day. Amazing. So isn't that amazing? Generation after generation, everybody kind of just stays in the building, right? I grew up next door to my nana, my grandma, my auntie, so it was that type of raising for me. And then I have 2 brothers. Wow. We all were raised by the same mother, same father, coming from a union. They both were married. Unfortunately, did not stay married. Divorced after about a decade.
Wow.
But I got myself. I'm the oldest, and then my 2 brothers, and we're all a year apart.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It was on it.
They was on it for sure. Every year, my mama, before she got out the hospital with my youngest brother Jasper, she was like, yeah, doctor, I'm not leaving this hospital until you tie my tube. Because I've been in the hospital every year. You know what I'm saying? And my daddy wanted to have 5. She was not having it.
I feel him on that. I want as many kids as I can have. I can't wait till I start having kids. Once I find a woman and I start populating, I'm going to be the most anti-abortion person anyone's ever heard of. And because I'll figure out how to pay for them later. Just give me my little babies. Give me my kids, for sure. You know what I mean? Because they to me, they all have the potential to be millionaires. The way I feel about it, with my genes, with my nurturing skills, how I'm going to help guide them, they all could be future millionaires.
Absolutely. You know Absolutely. I mean? So amen to that. I
want to have as many kids as I possibly can, for real, once I get started. Which I feel like I'm behind the ball with that. You know what I mean? But it's okay.
Well, you're a man,
I got a little more time.
Yeah,
I got a little more time. It's okay. Absolutely. You know what I mean? But yeah, so shout out to the family. That's really dope.
Absolutely. While we're on my family too, I would like to share this with the
it's amazing.
With the people. I'm working on a documentary and a project. Untold Detroit Black History. Yep, that happens to actually be, my family legacy. Also, Detroit, a part of that rich, deep history that I was speaking about that we have. And basically sharing the legacy and life of my family. Yeah. Some of the characters in my family, it's some wild characters. Okay.
Yeah,
let me just say that because I don't want to blow or speak too much. It's kind of a private thing. Yeah. But yeah, for sure. Like I grew up with some amazing characters that is the reason why I'm the woman I am today, and why I have such a strong core as it relates to my mental. Yeah. Absolutely, because we do all things with the mind. We serve God with the mind. We do all things with the mind, and if you can have a clear, clean, focused, conscious mind, you can fly for real.
For real, yeah.
And because life is gonna happen to everybody.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. It happens to us all, but to keep this,
yeah. When I it takes a lot. When
absolutely.
When I crashed my car last week, I was a month from smoking weed. Like I had completely quit weed,
man,
and I was like a month and change into not smoking weed. Mm-hmm. And then I crashed my car, and then what really happened is I'm gonna tell y'all in the future later on. But the punchline is I got the money that I had to repair my car. I got sort of scammed out of. All right, so then I didn't have the money to repair my car, so I was highly, highly stressed out. You know what I mean? And I was so stressed out that I could not make a plan forward. Like I just couldn't calm down enough to think. Every time I thought about it, I was just getting mad, and I just couldn't. I was just too stressed out. I smoked some weed. I did. I smoked some weed. I was like, dog, before I go through a wall, bro, let me sit down and smoke some weed for a second. You know what I mean? Just smoke some weed for a second. You know what I mean?
Centered.
And it was actually a day or two before I had got scammed out the money. And what I did during that time,
scammed out some money.
Yeah, the money I was supposed to make with to repair my car. But anyway, so when I first tried to open a business account, because I got an LLC already, I launched that earlier this year, but I didn't have a business account yet. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to get a business account with my credit union instead, because there's other businesses, the other banks that would have gave it to me, but I wanted it with them because I'm really plotting on them to get a mortgage from them like 2 years from now. And
Huntington?
It's Michigan State Federal, whatever. But it was a credit union, and I'm plotting on getting a mortgage from them like 2 years from now. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely,
I wanted to get a check-ins first, a savings account with them, and I wanted to open my business account with them because I know how they look at it. Like they're like, what are your finances like? What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So if they see a majority of my finances and they see me building before that, then them being like, all right, we'll let you with them, but that seems more reason. Plus, I heard credit unions give you some of the best rates on loans as opposed to bigger banks. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted my business account with them for many reasons. All right, even though technology wise, maybe they're not the best, but they're still enough where I can operate with them. I went to get a business account with them before, and they didn't want me to get one because my balance at the time wasn't like that enough. You know what I'm saying? For them to be like, give you a business account. But right before I lost my money, I had a lot of balance in my account, and I went to them because after I smoked the weed, I was like, I bet I could open that business account right now, though. You know what I mean? So that following the next Monday, I went into the bank and I opened my business account. You know, they just no problem. All of it, sort of no problem. Got through. I got a business account right now. You know what I'm saying? So even though it's like I'm trying to see the blessing in it. You know what I mean? Because it's like God was like, all right, so I'm gonna take your car from you for a little while.
What happened with the accident? What Did someone hit you?
Nah, I hit somebody. You know what I mean? I'm going to say it was my fault, even though it was fucked up how it happened. I did it to somebody else a little while ago, so I guess I deserve it. Because what happened was, what I did to somebody else, they did to me, right? So I'm driving, the car in front of me is driving, and there's a car in front of that car, right? Okay. So that car in front of the car of me, like, stops suddenly, right? And this car right in front of me, instead of also stopping, swerves out the way so that they don't, like, hit it. So they swerve, like, into the shoulder lane or whatever. And now I go from a car driving to swerving out to a car stopped. You know what I mean? So I did hit the person, you know what I mean? But it was because the car in front of me swerved. But I did the same thing to somebody else. But somebody was stopped in front of me randomly, and I swerved out the way, and the car behind me hit the person that was in front of me because I suddenly got out the way, and they went from a car moving to a stopped car, and couldn't react in time. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, I did it to somebody else, and boom, now it happened to me.
Okay, were you paying attention though when the car? I
could have been paying more attention. I could have been paying more attention. So that's why I still blame me at the end, because if I was fully paying attention, I might have been able to get out the way. But I was a little distracted because I was looking at some paperwork that I was trying, because I was on my way to get my car approved for fucking Uber. You know what I mean? I was looking at trying to find my paperwork and shit. And I should have been paying more attention. Now, if I was looking right at it, I probably would be fine right now. But I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But because
even though that happened, though, praise God. Praise God that you're here.
Yeah. I'm very, very happy I made it out alive. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? 'Cause
amen.
I know it could have been worse. You know what I mean? So I'm like, listen. So God took your money, and He took your car for a little bit. I'm going to get it back. You know what I mean? I just got to pay them. I'm going to get it back. You know, because it's fully repaired. It's just I don't got the money to pay for the repairs. So that ain't what the transmission ain't cheap, y'all. But look, here's the thing. So he's like, all right, I left you all your equipment, all your pod equipment, all your cameras, all your drone shit. You got all your equipment, and you now have a business account because of what happened. So you got a business account, you got all your equipment, and you got your skills. You know what I mean? So,
well, Scripture says the gift comes without repentance. And the fact that you are being obedient with your gift to be focused enough for production, which is action.
Yeah.
God blesses that and protects that. Even in your disobedience, which is not paying attention.
Yeah.
So you be careful not to miss how the Father still protects and keeps despite disobedience.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's why He's keeping you for such a time as this now.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So I was like, maybe He wants me to grow my business in a way. Because honestly, the other thing too is that, they scammed me out the money, but it's because I was trying to get into a scam to a degree. Not really, but like, it wasn't. It was. I'm gonna leave it on. Not really. But anyway, long story short, I was using something other than my talents and my abilities to
stay focused on high. Let's stay focused.
So God was like, I think God felt like He was like, nah, bro, you ain't about to slide your way up out of this like this. You know what I'm saying? You build this business, because I was like, I'm gonna build it. But then I started trying to like, no. We're going to have to squash that whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Because what you're supposed to do is build this business. Like, all right, fine. I got no choice now. Fine. I'll build the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And I've made such great moves in doing that. My plan is so great. I'm going to leave it. I'm still leaving it for the brain builder segment. But when you make a sales plan, right, and you based on your knowledge of sales and the videos I've watched, and then you ask ChatGPT or you look up what's the best way to sell something, and it's like the exact plan you already came up with, you're like, oh, okay, I know what I'm doing there. Like it didn't give me almost nothing different. It's like exactly what you're about to do. Go ahead and execute that plan, because that was gonna be our plan. We was gonna tell you, like, oh, okay, all right, I'm on the right track. Then I'm on the right track. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy. It's crazy. So, like I said, a year from now, if what I do works out, which based on the numbers it should, I'm gonna see it as a blessing. ChatGPT has been a blessing for me.
Oh, that's cool. AI.
How you feel about the AI? How you feel about? You don't like AI?
No,
you don't like it. Nah. Your voice went up all high and shit. That's cool. Fuck that nigga. Nah. That's how you was talking right now about AI. That's how you feel
AI
about it.
is cool. You know what I'm saying? What I want to say, though, is AI is pseudo Holy Spirit.
Why would you say that?
Because the Holy Spirit is able to be here and there and everywhere at the same time, at all times.
Yeah.
And that's where we are in time. We are in the time of the Holy Spirit. So what has happened is man has figured out how to extract with science, I guess, through like light. And I don't know specifically how it's done. I just know because I'm highly spiritual and intuitive and discerning. Mm-hmm. I am understanding and I feel what's happening. Mm-hmm. So that's like, you just confirmed it. What you think in your mind, or like you may think something and then you see it, that's because that's what time we're in. We're in the time of the now. It's happening now. Mm-hmm. So scripture says we have not because we ask not. Literally, you can ask and then you just wait for God. Literally, we have always talked about that time. That time is now.
Yeah.
That's what AI is. It's the confirmation that has been able to be put in a form of being tangible.
Yeah.
Because before it was what? Just spiritual. Mm. So that's the confirmation. Mm. And we all see it all the time. You think about something, or you may be in a gas station.
I do see what you're saying.
Look on your phone and you be like, damn, I just seen this in the gas station.
I have come up with I do have like a crazy theory on AI that I haven't really said on a pod before. So it's out of left field, but it sort of hints at what you're saying that to a degree, because AI is God-like in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? And you know, it goes to my other theory that, because I believe, because they're slowly discovering that there was like major meteor hits to the earth, and that humanity could have been reset. You know what I mean? Because one thing we take for granted that all humans feel is like, oh, this is the peak that human technology has ever reached. This is the peak. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's great. This is the peak. That's what of AI technology. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of technology, period, that humans have ever reached. And that's like really an assumption for real. Because we don't know, like the oldest human writings, even to the caves that's in like Africa, is like maybe 12,000, 10,000 years old.
But you don't think they're older?
Huh?
You don't think that they're older?
They could possibly be. You know what I mean? But our oldest writings that we've ever found, that we've ever tried to date, the oldest dates I've heard of is like 13,000, 12,000. And that's like blood, and they said that's blood and something like
what about
writings
the biblical
they did on the
writings and such?
The Bible is only like the actual Bible is only like about 7,000 years old. You know what I mean? Like the King James, the Christian Bible, they're only about 6, 7, 8,000 years old.
But then there was scripture before that.
Yeah.
But that dates.
It does. But the point I was getting at is that like the oldest skeleton, as far as like atomically, modernly human, like if that skeleton was alive walking down the block, you wouldn't even turn your head because it looks like a modern day human. So with the same brain size, the same modern day skeleton, the oldest one I think was found was about 210,000 years ago. So there's a theory that we're like a species with amnesia. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, because they say if humans stopped being humans right now, like hypothetically we all disappear from the earth, every scratch of evidence of human existence to this level would disappear in like 1,000 years. All the bridges would collapse. All the buildings would collapse due to nature, due to us not being here to upkeep it. Everything would collapse and ground into dust. Everything would rust and disintegrate. Like all of human society would be almost unfindable in 1,000 years if we all disappeared, right? And our biggest cities today, and like how they have always been, our biggest cities are on the coast by the water. Mm-hmm. And there was an ice age that ended 10,000 years ago, which raised the sea level 400 feet, which means that these great ancient cities, if they did exist, they'd be underwater right now because the sea level is higher than it was. So long story short, who knows if humans had created AI before? You know what I mean? Who knows if it created it before, and that was what maybe we called God to a degree. And I still believe in God, but I'm just saying that AI is so God-like. It's like you said, the omnipresence, the amount of knowledge it can hold, the amount of way it can calculate things. It'd be it is God-like. That amount of power and knowledge that it is God-like. That is crazy.
Absolutely. Ye say, Kanye West.
Yeah.
Ye says that we the true Hebrew Israelites. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You the true Jew. And in scripture it says, them that say they are the Jews, but are the synagogue of Satan. So with you talking about how old we are.
Yeah.
We're the oldest being, talking about the melanated, indigenous, Native American, Hebrew Israelite, black, however you want to term or call it. We're the oldest.
Yeah.
And all has come from us, right?
Yeah.
So we know, it's history, like you saying, going back 200,000, that predates that.
Yeah.
It's trees. I think it's the sycamore tree.
Yeah.
And then Pocahontas, the Disney movie, one of the lyrics to the song is, how tall does the sycamore tree grow? If you cut it down, then you'll never know. Right?
Yeah.
So the sycamore tree can be millions of years old.
Yeah.
They can test that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We was living back then too.
Yeah.
And so we do have amnesia. That's why white folks able to come in the city and displace the natives, because we have forgot simple things.
Yeah.
We have forgot our magic with the sons of Levi, the Levites. That's how the who is it? The New Orleans.
Yeah.
The Creoles, the Haitians, that's how they won the war. Because they used magic, because they were remembering. We have to remember.
Yeah.
See, and what's happening with the displacement in the city of Detroit, they are not just displacing natives, but they're changing the face of things. They're renaming and recalling things. Cobo Hall is now Huntington Bank. That's what they've always did, this all over history. So you cannot remember.
Yeah.
Because when you don't remember, then you die.
Yeah. I agree with that. But black people, my thing about black people is here's my thing. I believe that there's a certain group of black people, a bigger portion that I would like to exist, that truly feel inferior to white people. You know what I mean? Because it's like so.
You think it's a group of black folks that think that they inferior to white folks?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because my thing is this, I'm not a black man that necessarily makes excuses for black people. You know what I mean? Because it's like, when you look at the worst periods of time of racism in America, which is not now, it's back when they could just lynch you in public and just do all the things. I always say, when a white man was at his worst, we were at our best. That's when. So if it's so bad now with racism, if it's so bad right now, then why did Black Wall Street, a affluent black neighborhood that was built by blacks, had all the businesses, hospitals, everything that black people did, why was that able to exist during segregation? But now, today, when there's more black people than there was then, more black millionaires today than there was then, but there aren't more or even one real Black Wall Street now compared to then. but racism is
you scratch a lie, you find a thief.
Then now, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, sure, the white man is doing whatever he's doing, but like, I don't feel inferior to him. So to me, it's like he can only do what we have allowed him to do. You know what I mean? So I, at the end of the day, still put the onus on us. It's like, so he is up against you. So he doesn't like you. What you going to do, crumble up and turn into dust? Oh, well. We've always been stronger, more talented, more intelligent. So if you really believe that, then how could you believe that this same white man who you're superior to has the ability? Because really, when you look at white supremacy, how it acts like it's scared. Because if you're really superior, dog, that's the reason why I don't argue with certain people. Because at the end of the day, their ability to attack life, that's the reason why they're angry. You know what I'm saying? They're like, it's like whatever. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I'm not arguing with you. I feel bad for you. Me winning an argument against you isn't gonna prove anything to me because I don't. So I'm like, whatever. I'm not gonna take that argument. You know what I mean? But at the same, that's why I look at white people. If they truly thought that they were more intelligent than us, if they truly thought that they were better than us, then they wouldn't try to guard us from direct competition so hard. They wouldn't try to sabotage us so hard. They wouldn't try to make it so hard for us to compete with them. If you really think you're superior to someone, are you afraid to race them if you know you're a sprinter? Are you afraid to lift against them if you know you? No, you're like, go ahead and step up and try. I'm going to show you that I'm that nigga. But when you're actually afraid of your enemy, then you want to sabotage them, make them you don't want direct competition because you're actually afraid that they're better. You know what I mean? Because everywhere you let us get into too much, we dominate. You know what I mean? So that to me, the whole way they go about it doesn't seem like white supremacy. It seems like white fear. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I'm not even that mad at them because of it. Because the thing is, if they allow us to grow in number, if they allow us to take over, we are genetically dominant, which means that when a white person has a baby and a black person has a baby, 9 times out of 10, the black features and skin win that genetic battle. So genetically, we're dominant. So if we ask white people to not resist us, to let us join their people, we will take over. A couple generations later, it'll look like a bunch of J. Coles. You know what I mean? Not. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of Drakes. Not like they'll be like some white, but like eventually we win genetically. So it's like to ask them not to fight us is to ask them to accept their own death. You know what I mean? To a degree. You know what I'm saying?
This conversation is an age-old conversation.
Get canceled again. This is not what's supposed to happen.
And I mean, you know, it is what it is. It's an age-old conversation. But the time we're in now, as you're speaking, it's going to be. No, it is now. We have to recognize the time is now.
I was going to ask you one question. Who do you think is a bigger enemy to black people in America today? Black people or the white man?
Niggas!
That's my main point. Yeah, the white man does this and that. But to me, the biggest enemy to black people right now is black people. Our inability to organize, our inability to come together, our inability to...
Scripture said, if my people who are called by my name humble themselves and pray, then will I heal the land.
Yeah, there's too much infighting within black people.
And the whole world is waiting on us to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, to me, it's like, yeah, he doing whatever he doing, but what are we doing? What are we doing? A lot of the times when he's rich off of what we own. Like I remember back in segregation times, do you remember used to hear the stories about how they wouldn't let blacks play in the NBA. There were segregated leagues and they were fighting to get into the white leagues. And now I'm like, the NBA is 85% black, dog. You know what I mean? Right now, literally. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, that's why my controversial thing, I'm like, listen, segregation, if you brought it back today, hypothetically, and there was an all black, there had to be all of a sudden, for some reason, there had to be an all white NBA league and an all black NBA league. When 85% of the current league is black, you know, dog, like, we will be fine. We don't need y'all for real. We will be fine. You know what I mean? We would have just as many, like what? Except now all the owners get to be black too. That's the only thing that'll change. The only thing that would change with segregation, the league would look pretty much the same. And the owners will be black now.
They want us to stay stagnant and in a constant vomit
Yeah, like that. I'm just and
Okay.
but with black culture, we praise degeneracy. You know what I mean? Like, as in, like, these are the people that we lift up highest amongst us. You know what I mean? The
niggas getting money.
Well,
we praise that because we are a proud, arrogant, rightfully so people, because we the direct descendants and inheritance of the Most High. Okay, that's why. One reason why, when you just talking about the spirit and the energy of the thing, that's why.
Yeah, and I was talking to this African one time who by the way, was an immigrant, came from West Africa, only been here like 2-3 years, you know what I'm saying? But it's okay. I was talking to him, and I asked him, because I had a question about it, because I seen this on the YouTube video. He was like, this guy on the YouTube video was like, the most powerful nation would be the USA, but a new USA. And
Who said that?
I forgot his name, but he was like, instead of the United States of America, it would be the United States of Africa. You know what I mean? So if all these African countries and nations were to actually almost steal the U.S. blueprint and come together as it, like, still got your individual states, your individual laws and stuff, but at the end of the day, y'all stand together as Africa, as a United States of Africa. You know what I mean?
The United States of America is the greatest country on the face of the planet because we here.
Yeah. We help make it that.
Period.
But I asked him
and because we're blessed and anointed and highly favored.
What I asked him was, could the United States of Africa ever exist? He was like, no.
Well, because there's continents and countries over there.
He was like, nah, ain't no way. He was like, I forgot the two names, so I feel bad because it's like, I know so many Nigerians, I feel bad. He said the Yoruba and the Niobe, something, the other something, there's like two major classes in Africa that's like, they will just never get together, and it's like.
Okay, Africans and black folks is not the same though.
Yeah,
like niggas in America is different than black people anywhere else.
I agree with that. I said that too.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's a reason for that. That's what I'm saying. It's not just because. It's a reason for that. This is holy ground, specifically Detroit. Holy ground. They know that. It's not. They know that's why we getting attacked like we are. It's bigger than what you thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual principalities and wickedness in high places.
Yeah, I agree.
We getting attacked. It's a battlefield and a real war going on out here in the streets. And we winning. It don't look like it. It don't look like it, but guess what?
We got it.
No, know that we don't live by sight. My daddy told me before he passed, rest in peace, Daddy. Love you, Daddy. Rest in peace. He told me, baby, don't believe none of what you see and only believe half of what you hear. That's for this time and now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So know the fact that we here speaking, talking, you are where you supposed to be, and you are successful as you can dream. And that's right now.
Yeah.
Know it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's for all of us.
I feel that way. As long as you alive, there's hope.
That's why we have the opportunity to document. We don't have to wait on them. You know what I'm saying? The portals are open.
That's part of why I do what I do now. So black people can tell their own story about black people. I give black people the opportunity, and other people as well, but just Detroit in general, just be able to tell your story. Instead of having it through some mainstream media, someone that's like trying to control the narrative or not allow you to have your freedom of speech. I'm a freedom of speech absolutist, which is why my last podcast with you is crazy. All right, because I believe in freedom of speech. Because my thing is this: I don't really wish ill will or evilness. I don't wish that upon people. So I'm just a curious person exploring ideas and trying to find the truth of the nature of our existence. You know what I mean? And to do that, I have to be allowed to speak my mind, ask questions, explore my curiosities,
and you have the voice
and search for the truth. You know what I mean? That's what I should be able to do. And I don't hate anybody, and I don't wish bad on anybody. I just want the truth of the nature of the universe to be revealed to me, you know, which is why I strive to rise into greater levels of discipline, because I don't believe the secrets in the universe will reveal themselves to an undisciplined mind. You know what I mean? I have to be disciplined and ready to handle what truths it does have to reveal onto me. And I think it's trying to build my strength and resilience so that when I do finally reach that level, I'll be able to, I won't be too shaken by what I discover. You know what I mean? So
absolutely,
I take everything as a test. I'm still alive, so you're not done with me yet. You know what I'm saying? So I got to keep pushing. Got to find there must be a way forward. If I'm still here, there must be a way forward. You know what I mean? So
Charlie G, you have the #1 podcast in Detroit.
Thank you.
Absolutely,
I appreciate that.
Amen.
I'm damn sure working towards it. You know what I'm saying? I see my y'all ain't gonna keep improving it, but that's why I thank God so much for me. So because I went to even though I couldn't pay for my car to get out, when it all happened, my equipment and everything, this thing here, that was all still in my car in the shop getting repaired, and I was like, Doug, I'm not gonna be able to do my pod if I don't get my equipment out of that car somehow. You know what I mean? How am I gonna convince him to let me get all of my, I mean, it was 2 suitcases, the light, everything was in my damn car still. And I was like, how are you going to let me get this stuff out of my car when I can't pay for the motherfucker right now? You know, but I need it to continue my brand and shit. But God let it so that it was easy for me to get my stuff and I was able to get it out. You know what I mean? I'm very happy about that. You know,
amen. And let me clarify. Let me just say this on the Charlie G show right quick. Detroit is America. So when I say the #1 pod show in Detroit, Detroit is America.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's laying like that.
I'm telling you, I don't really like praising Detroit as much as I always do because, but I do feel like it has always been, and it is certainly blessed in its placement upon the earth. You know what I mean? Because Detroit has no hurricanes. Detroit doesn't really get tornadoes like that for real. Detroit doesn't get earthquakes like that for real. A lot of the times in the summertime, I've seen it over the past many years. A lot of the other parts of the nation are dealing with drought. You know who's not dealing with drought? The place with the most fresh water source in all of America, Detroit, with all the lakes. You know what I'm saying? Detroit has the most water, the least amount of environmental problems. And it's in the middle of the country. It's easy to get to the whole rest of the country from here, for real. You know what I mean? So it's blessed, geologically blessed in this location. All right, we're blessed with resources and blessed with the lack of natural disasters. Like half of California just catch on fire every goddamn year. We don't got no wildfires like that. We just environmentally, Detroit is blessed, and the ground is fertile here.
Amen.
You know what I mean? Shit just grow for no reason. Every lot you've ever seen in Detroit is almost never gravel. No, the land is life in it, and the soil is grass this high. Everything in Detroit fucking grow like a motherfucker. This is why I say the weed on average is better, because you could grow shit in Detroit, like the moisture in it, because of the fresh water. The shit grow here. This is a place that's blessed geologically, weather-wise, resources-wise, location-wise. It
holy
really
land.
is.
It really is.
It really is blessed in a lot of ways when you really, really look at it. Every time I get up in a drone, people be asking me where the fuck I'm at, because I thought I was in a regular block in Detroit. When you take that drone and you go all the way, all you be seeing is trees. You be like, I'm in the middle of a forest. Detroit really got so much nature, so much probably better air quality, my bad, than a lot of other cities and high places. You know what I'm saying? Like Detroit is really blessed by how much nature it really has, and how the balance of civilization versus how much nature is accessible versus the resource. Like Detroit is really, really blessed in a lot of ways. As much as housing is going up, it's still, I mean, maybe because I'm coming from New York and I'm used to $2 million, $1 million, $500,000. The house you can get for $150,000 in Detroit, it's a nice motherfucking house.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you that. You know what I'm saying?
Detroit has the best architecture in the world.
That's another thing too.
One of the best.
I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? So Detroit has so many things that I like about it that I didn't realize that I liked about it. And as a businessman trying to grow my business right now, I'm gonna save it for the brand with a second. But anyway, the second question I have for you, which we never got to, a fucking 40 minutes later, in the second. Listen. Conversations happen.
I love
it.
Right?
Who were you in high school? What kind of kids did you hang out with? Was it the nerds, the athletes, the popular kids, the emo crowd? Was you rocking? Who was you rocking with most of the time? Or was you a loner?
Oh, that's a wild question. That's what's up.
Who was you in high school?
I graduated from the Detroit School of the Fine and Performing Arts, class of 2007.
That's dope.
Yep. Same high school Aaliyah went to.
Wow.
The same high school.
Aaliyah from Detroit?
Aaliyah is from Detroit.
Wow. Shout out to Aaliyah.
Rest in peace, Aaliyah. Rest in
wow.
peace,
She got shout out in another clip I ain't make, but yeah, shout out to Aaliyah.
Yeah, shout out to Aaliyah. Tia Marie.
Yeah, I know her.
She graduated from Detroit School of the Fine and Performing Arts 2006.
Wow.
So when I was growing up,
who was you in high school?
Back in the day when I was kidding.
Who was you in high school running around with them in the hallways?
I'm who I am now. Like I've always been Pavi. No, for real. And Detroit DSA. Everybody thought we all thought we was famous then. You know what I'm saying? Every day. I remember 10th grade. I didn't wear the same outfit twice. In 10th grade. Yep. Wow. I was like I always had new outfit on, and I can remember my friends in school like, Pavi, I want to wear that. Like, I want to wear that shirt tomorrow. I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? And not recognizing or not having that business mindset, like, oh, let me, you know what I'm saying, start a layaway service. Yeah. Or let me, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how I was doing the renting thing back in, you know, we would rent each other's clothes or, you know, and all of that. And it was like, yeah. Especially if somebody was fly and I was a fly girl, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm an Aquarius. So I'm a social butterfly. Like I love talking. I get along with everybody, but I am a real loner. Like I like, I'm chill. I like to be off in the cut.
So you feel like you was a loner even in high school? You feel like?
I was not a loner in high school. In high school, I was, you know, I was in the mix.
So you say you went to the performing arts.
Yeah, everybody thought they was famous at DSA.
I have another question about that, but I'm gonna say that's the one after the one I'm about to ask. Who did you look up to then and maybe now? Like it's like role models, like whether they're celebrities or people in your family you look up to. You know what I'm saying? What did you who were some of your role models growing up?
So I'm going to sway away from the personal question, the family, and keep it on the topic that we've been on all night, which is Detroit.
So who's some people you looked up to growing up?
I love hip hop. Okay. Hip hop raised me, along with my parents, of course. Yeah. But I grew up in the golden years of hip hop. The golden years of hip hop. You did too.
Mm-hmm. A little bit.
So, with that being said, when I first fell in love with hip hop, I was over my auntie Kia's house, and my cousin BJ was playing. I'm hearing it on the radio. True.
That's that
and
shit.
Lil' Kim came on, and she was like, "I'ma throw shade if I can't get paid." I said, who is that? I could just hear she was a woman. She like, I'ma throw shade. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, I didn't see Lil' Kim, though. I hadn't seen her yet. I just heard her. And I was like, I like her.
Lil' Kim was a force to be fucked.
Oh, my God. I love Kim growing up. I can remember just being in my mama's car and dreaming of having a car. And like, I'm be wearing this and like I be doing, and it was just because that was the visual. Hip hop created social media. Yeah, because I remember, and I am who I thought I was then. Yeah, as a little girl, and so shout out to hip hop.
Shout out to hip hop. You know, the black influence in America as well. Because I don't know if I said this on a pod. I think I might have. But anyway, I said, you know, and I said this on a story, Instagram, whatever. America leads the world culturally. Like culturally, which is why we dropped the ball with all of this. I ain't even gonna go down that lane. I'm not even gonna go down that lane. I'm gonna leave them alone. I ain't mess with the alphabet people this podcast. But look, America leads the world culturally. And who leads America culturally? It's us. You know what I mean? So while there's some people in the comment system that be like, no, some white people in Silicon Valley made social media. Yeah, they made social media, but who really runs social media? You know, it's the black culture. Shut it up. Stop.
No, I just told
you. We control shit. We control the cool.
Mind.
Black people have controlled the cool since cool has existed. Cool used to be slang. We invented the cool shit being fresh. And y'all just adopt it and just eat that. But you know something though. That's what we're gonna say about black people, because you always going on. And I agree. We the original man in a lot of ways, but what black people don't want to take credit for, one of my theories is that, yeah, we the originators of almost everything, including racism and including slavery. Like, I imagine if there was a black nation and for some reason the population of albino people or like really white people was being born in a nation that was like 90% black, I bet we were the first races. I bet we banished these, because I always look at it like a adopted kid looking for his biological parents. Like, when you adopted and you somewhere else and you naturally will want to seek out your parents. So if white people really came from us, they're like our children, and every time they're too separate from us, what they do, they come fucking seek us out. We call it gentrification. I call it looking for your poppy, and that you stay trying to, like, every time we run to somewhere and where we at, you call the hood, and where y'all at is all good. All of a sudden, for whatever reason, y'all start fucking coming over here. It blows my mind because it happens everywhere all the time. Brooklyn used to not. When my grandmother bought that house in Brooklyn that she still has right now, and they told her when she bought it 30 years ago, this the worst block in Brooklyn. Don't buy now. Now it's Fort Greene. Now the house is worth $2 million. Now everyone wants to be here. But before it wasn't shit. But all of a sudden, wherever we are, y'all just keep encroaching upon us. And now y'all was talking shit about Detroit for years. Is y'all water good? Oh, y'all got bankrupt, blah, 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 talking mad shit. And now where y'all all trying to move?
But guess what?
I thought we wasn't shit. Why don't y'all just
niggas kept Detroit running when nobody would bail out Detroit. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
They didn't bail us out.
He wasn't too big to fail. Detroit.
Before Mayor Coleman Young, mm-hmm. He used to cuss them out like, motherfucker, get the fuck out. Like, and they did not, for years, we couldn't get no loans. Black people sustained this city for all of that time. That's why, and this is one of the oldest cities in this country.
Yeah.
And we have sustained this city over 300 years at this point, as it relates to the generations.
Yeah.
Right? So for what's to be happening, going back to the displacement, it's blatant genocide.
But me personally, you know, my opinion, I'm always blaming black. I'm hard on black people.
Because I'm hard on black people too.
Because I feel like black people be given to. Because my mother, I give her credit for it. And I don't know how she really found it. I don't know how my mother found a house. We knew no one in Michigan. We'd never even been to Michigan. When my mother came up on a little bit of money and she was looking for a house, I don't know how the fuck. I mean, I know how she found a YouTube, but still though, you in New York.
How she found what?
How do you find this house in Boston Edison, in Detroit, a historical neighborhood, in a black city, a place you've never been for? How do you find that house for $40,000 in 2014? How do you find that house in Detroit, in a place you've never been to, and then buy it and go move there? Like, My mother's really, I give her a lot of credit. Yeah, how the fuck did you even find that house? And how did you have the balls to go, you know what I'm going to do?
Gems.
I'm going to go move to a place where I've never fucking been, a place that I know no one, and yep, that's what I'm doing. Like, that's crazy. I mean, I thank God she did it. You know what I mean? But
and she strike gold.
But yeah, she did. You know what I'm saying? But at the time when we moved here in 2014, the whole world was talking so much shit about Detroit in 2014.
That's when you moved here?
Yeah, that's when she first bought the house in 2014.
Oh, wow.
I moved in 2016, but it's around when I was telling people I was in New York, I was moving to Detroit. They was like, "Are you okay? Is everything okay? Like, did that house come with a gun? Are you gonna be okay? What you gonna drink? You gonna drink water? What's gonna happen
That's
out there?"
That's because black people were here.
But I know.
That's why.
I know at the time we was seeing nothing but bad stories. I had houses for $1,000 back in that time in 2014, a little before that, 2010. And so I'm saying is this.
The real
all the drug dealers, all the people that I've heard of from back of there, we had money, we had stacks and all of this. So y'all had stacks and had all of that money and all of them buffs. But when the houses in y'all city was $1,000, do you know how many times I've heard of a Detroit drug dealer talking about how, oh yeah, me and my homies got this house running. We found this abandoned house and we fixed it up to do it, and they running shit out the abandoned house. And I'm like, y'all know that abandoned house. How are y'all?
Because what happened was witchcraft.
House that only cost that trap house, if you was to actually fucking buy it, was maybe $2,000. But y'all using it as a trap house and making tens of thousands of dollars and never actually buy the house. And then when someone comes and buy the house, y'all want to be like, "Hey, nah, nigga, what the fuck? What the fuck?"
Because
y'all
niggas is just trying to survive day to day. You know what I'm saying? Niggas got to eat, B.
Nah,
so they just,
the rims is this big. I don't want to hear about that.
No, what I'm saying is what has happened is systematic. And so because I'm not giving us an excuse, but you got to have the variables out on the table. And most niggas don't even know enough to know, like, oh, for real, nigga, that's a part of it. You know what I'm saying? So when you really understand what's really happening, our people are dying one before their time.
Yeah.
So when key core members die, pass away, transition into another realm, and they're not physically here, trauma is the motherfucker. You already know. You know what I'm saying? So that already is now stripping you, we'll just say a decade, a time. So that's crazy. And that's what has happened. They're stealing time. So because time is being stolen, we just got to know that that's what it is.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? Know that time is being stolen. However, it's no greater time like the present.
Yeah.
Like now.
Now.
You can fly.
All I'm saying is that I've always felt like Martin Luther King was one of the biggest gangsters to ever exist in history. You know what I mean? Because, because they was giving him death threats and telling him all sorts of things he shouldn't do. And you know what?
Dr. King.
He came and gave speeches anyway. He came and did it anyway.
Yeah,
and you know what they did? They killed Dr. Martin Luther King.
Absolutely.
And killed Malcolm X and Huey P. Newton and a couple other
Bobby
people.
Seale.
A couple, MacGyver, whatever his name, I forgot his other, McDever, whatever. They killed a lot. And you know what that did to black? But my thing is this. So, regardless of what happened today, the fact that black people are too afraid to stand up for their own people because of what happened to people in the past, but y'all always gangster when the enemy looks like you, though. When it's a black person, I'll ride. I'll do all of this. When it's another nation of people, when it's another, all of a sudden, if it was a black person, I'd be ready to kill him. But it's something else. So I'm just can't stand. No. You was ready to die when the enemy looked like you. You was ready to die about it. But now, I don't want to get political. I don't know. So you know enough to engage in black on black crime, but when it's time to fight for your people, now you're uninformed. Wow. Isn't that convenient? You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying, y'all so gangster and so ready to die, but don't know what's necessary and what's worth dying for. Y'all willing to die over some shit that's not beneficial to your people as a whole, but you're not willing to die for the cause and things that will actually move your people forward. That you're not willing to die for. Forget bad people, but you're willing to die for your gang, like as if that's like I'm saying with hip hop and certain things, the way we lead in culture, like these people were not helping in the way that they should. You know what I mean? Like, all right, I've seen black people get a big chain already. I've seen black people buy Lamborghinis. I've seen them get Bugattis. I've seen them get big Cuban change of a black person getting a chain or a mansion or a nice car would not be like life changing. Oh, I never knew black people could. No, every black person knows black people could do that. But can black people build a neighborhood? Can black people build a hospital? Can black people build and sustain a bank and create a banking network? Can black people build something in today's not what old black people did during segregation?
We did
Can
that.
today's black people who are more millionaires today than they were back then? Where's today's Black Wall Street? Where's today's? We still blaming a white man when we got black billionaires. You know what I mean? Like, why can't y'all? That's one thing I love about Michigan, bro. Michigan taught me something important. I always seen it in movies, but I've seen it out here, and it's the reason why states bid for factories and stuff like that. They say one manufacturing job creates 5 jobs in other neighborhoods. You know what I mean? And like the thing is, black people need to own factories. We need to own manufacturing. You know what I mean? We
do. It belongs to us.
We need to own them for real and own these industries. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Another question I had for you was, so in a black filmed and directed independent film by Hakeem Perkins, I see you made your first cameo. Congratulations on that. You know what I mean? Tell me about the experience.
I need to have my buffs on, my yays.
Yeah. Tell me about the experience in your cameo. How was it? What was the scene like? What was the whole thing like?
It was dope. Yeah, absolutely. I moved back home 2022, and I know I was aware that the independent movie scene here in Detroit was booming. It's amazing. I'm like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I have a cousin who has a best friend. Shout out to Sierra. She's in a lot of Sierra Michelle. That's my baby. She's in a lot of Tubi movies, and it's like niggas is really actors though out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Detroit is Black Hollywood. Now we want to say Atlanta is as well. However, Detroit is Black Hollywood. When I tell you Detroiters, we know how to dress like no other. We are leading in fashion, tech, spiritual intelligence. Okay. AI. Right? What else? Food.
So much.
It's so much. Good looks. You know what I'm saying? The vibes. You know what I'm saying? You feel it. You know it is what it is. Because we're on holy land, and that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So,
yeah, what was the experience like being on the movie set?
Oh, yeah, thank you for keeping me.
Having to learn the lines in the scene.
Well, actually, I did not learn my lines. I forgot all my lines, okay? That's why I was cussing so much. Like, fuck you, motherfucker. I don't even talk like that, for real. Even though I done been, motherfucker's my favorite cuss word. You know what I'm saying? But I've been, I ain't never cussed that much in my life. And I've never talked to a man like that in my life. I'm good to men.
But you was bucking up in that scene, huh?
Yeah, in that scene. Yeah, I was, you got to go watch it. You know, I mean, it's what's up. You know,
What episode is it, do you know?
What episode?
Yeah.
It's not an episode. It's a movie.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I can't even tell you the movie right now.
All right. Keep it wrapped up. All right.
Yeah, I can't tell you the movie, but
I did want to see it. You know what I mean? So a couple questions before we get out of here. You know what I mean? I gotta ask you this. Skipping a couple questions, but how do you feel about Kamala Harris? How do you feel about Kamala Harris?
No comment. I have no comment.
No comment?
It's really, niggas like, oh, she ain't really black or whatever. She look like my mama. Like, yeah, she is black. And the Indians, East Indian, them niggas is black too. You niggas ain't know that? I don't know. That's what I got to say about her. You know what I'm saying? It's a great time that a woman is running for...
So how do you feel about Trump?
A head seat. How do I feel about Trump? I mean, Trump is a gangster. I like him as a character. The nigga's cool.
We see who she voting for. She don't want to tell you.
I'm not. No. See, that's why I don't want to. Yeah, it's too late, and I really got to go home. You know what I'm saying? Right. But yeah.
Well, look. I appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Make America great again.
Hey, thank you. Exactly.
That was a Kanye moment. I love Kanye West.
You know what I mean? Is there a message you want to have for your future self watching the podcast?
I should have worn my shades, and for sure, I'm definitely gonna have. I want some the red Cartier frames. That's how I want to say it. The red Cartier.
Yeah.
With the gold. Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, what message would you? Versace's.
What advice would you give to your 20-year-old self?
My 20-year-old self?
Yeah.
I'm like, hey.
That's what you gonna say?
Hey.
No,
for real.
Just kicking ass.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be here.
Yeah. Glad you made it this far. And
absolutely.
How far you go. Yeah, I wish you a very long
Hello?
life. You know what I mean? But yeah.
What up, though?
I'm gonna save it for y'all for next episode, all right? Cause y'all gonna just know I got a business account. You know what I mean? Know I got a sales strategy that's amazing. You know what I mean? I already got 16, 17, maybe 18 businesses that are. I got all the information lined up. You know what I mean? I'm about to start marketing, hitting them. I've been doing so much research on businesses in Detroit. You know what I mean?
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah. I got the numbers and their contacts and all of that on my phone. So I've been doing nothing but work to try to get ready to do sales on my services. You know what I'm saying? Because one great thing about Detroit is that so many niggas is old heads and behind the ball of technology. You know what I mean? Which I get to help bring them to year 2024. You know what I'm saying? With my drone footage and my high quality edits and stuff like that, there's so many businesses that are in need of that. I go check some businesses got it together, but a lot of businesses in Detroit need that shit. So many car dealerships. I'm surprised at how many car wash places and detailing places don't have great footage of cars on their Instagram and stuff like that. Why would you be washing all these nice cars and not take? It's so crazy. But I'm about to help them get their act together. Thank God they're so like not making sense, because I'm about to help them get their act together. You know what I'm saying? There's so much opportunity here in the trip. But once again, I thank you for coming. You know what I mean?
Thank you for having me.
I'll make sure I get some brown liquor for you next time, man. It's unfortunate.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I think I had Henny last time. I think, you know what I mean? Had the coconut water, you know what I mean? But yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of places your ears could be. I'm honored they chose to be with me. When in doubt, use calm honesty to express your vision. And most of all, thanks for listening.